And welcome to Second Thought. I'm the co-host, Susan King, and the good guy in the white hat, your host of the show, Mr. William Wagener. Thanks for joining us.
Well, we're here again. This is William Wagener with Dr. and attorney ORLY TAITZ, who's bringing the landmark lawsuit to force Obama to answer questions as to whether he was really born in Kenya, as the birth certificate obtained by Mr. Smith and certified to the court file indicates he has, and also that he used 29 different Social Security numbers. And Orly, I understand that you now find under some research that Michelle has also used multiple Social Security numbers. Is that right?
Well,
and what about this fine by Judge Land? You've filed an appeal. Is that punitive to teach all attorneys to back off and just not really do their job?
As you know, Judge Land was the judge in two cases. One was a case for Major Cook. And in that case, actually, the military has revoked his orders to go to Afghanistan. That was very telling. The only reasonable explanation for the military to revoke the orders for deployment would be the fact that they had nothing to show, that they knew that Obama is illegitimate, and they were afraid to go to trial. And that became story number 5 in the world. I got phone calls and requests for interview all over the world. And I think it was an embarrassment. On that issue with Major Cook, we won because the military just revoked his orders. We also filed a motion for emergency hearing, and we also were asking for damages. And Judge Land decided that Major Cook is not entitled to damages, even though we had evidence that the military, that the top brass of the military has pressured his employer to have him fired. From his $120,000 a year job, it was a clear case of intimidation, harassment, retaliation of Obama regime against somebody who dared to question Obama's legitimacy. And Judge Land decided there was no case. I'm wondering if somebody were to pressure Judge Land and he would not cower under pressure, and he would question Obama's legitimacy and would be fired from his job, would he still think that there is no case there? There is no wrongful termination? If it would have been his own skin, I think in that case he would have felt that this is a very strong case for damages. Then I have filed a second case on behalf of Captain Rhodes. And in that case, this doctor, medical doctor, has questioned Obama's legitimacy. And she stated, I'm not going to Iraq until I know that the commander-in-chief is legitimate. And, you know, to me, this is a no-brainer. When you have a temporary restraining order, you have to balance the hardships. Well, here is a hardship. This woman needs to go and risk her life. What's the hardship for Obama? Take 5 minutes and sign a consent form. I, Barack Hussein Obama, consent to release of my documents. Where is more hardship? It's a non-brainer. Anybody with half a brain will understand that there is much more hardship on this woman. Moreover, she was on the stand and she stated, Your Honor, I'm a medical doctor, surgeon, trained in Urbana, Illinois. I know no human being can be born in this country without having a proper hospital birth certificate with name of the doctor, name of the hospital, and signatures, without having a big birthing file. Why this was never shown? Why it never appeared? Where is it? There is something very wrong. She said, I'm going to Iraq. I'll be in harm's way. And if I am following orders of legitimate commander-in-chief, unlawful orders, I don't even have protection of Geneva Convention. She's a very articulate, intelligent woman. And Judge Land just completely ignored anything and everything that was presented. I presented to him not only statement from a forensic document expert showing that the certification of live birth that Obama posted on the internet cannot be considered as genuine, and there is a need to see the original that's on file in Hawaii that Obama is hiding and refusing to release to the public. But also, I presented research from a licensed investigator showing that in national databases, Obama has 39 different Social Security numbers. And now we're doing more in-depth research, finding out that some of those are Social Security numbers of the deceased. What is even more interesting, the two of those Social Security numbers were from Judge Land's own backyard, from his own hometown, from Columbus, Georgia, 505 Far Street, apartment C, Columbus, Georgia. I mean, he might say there is no jurisdiction when we're talking about something in a different state, in a different part of Georgia. But when he has in the pleadings, in the documents, in an affidavit with the pleadings, information that Obama used multiple Social Security numbers and two of them were in his own hometown, he didn't think that he has jurisdiction and a duty to act. Now, it's just unbelievable. He also stated that he needs to abstain. And what was interesting, on my website, and please, I would ask the viewers to go on my website and see, I post everything, all of the pleadings, all of the information, what was said in transcripts, so that they can judge by themselves, for themselves.
And the website now is?
ORLY-TAITZ.com. You know, they can see this judge was just dishonest. He misstated and misrepresented 90% of what was in the pleadings, what was in the documents. And in his decision, he stated that he was supposed to abstain. But it's really a situation where he twisted the truth and the law. As a matter of fact, in the courtroom, he stated that we did not discuss the precedents. That's not just a lie. It's just not true. We specifically discussed the precedent coming from Georgia, where a member of the military, one last name Mendez, has questioned orders. In that case, it came orders of the Secretary of the Air Force, and asked for temporary restraining order. The district judge stated that he wants to abstain. This is a matter for the military to decide. And this member of the military went to the Circuit Court of Appeals, and Circuit Court of Appeals has reversed the decision of the district judge, sent it back, remanded it to the district judge, and they've given guidelines. So from his own district, from his own circuit, there was a decision in Mendez's case that stated that in certain instances, you have to decide. You have to adjudicate. You can't just sit there and say it's up to the military.
So is that an act of treason by Judge Land after it's been sent back from the appeals court?
Well, there are several very famous quotes, and one comes from Chief Justice John Marshall, who stated that if the court has jurisdiction, in this case, clearly they had jurisdiction, and the judge decides not to adjudicate, then it's treason against the Constitution. It's not, those are not my words. Those are words coming from the Supreme Court, from a former Chief Justice, very well-known Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And there are a number of precedents like that, where if indeed there is jurisdiction, he had to decide. This woman had to be deployed from Fort Benning. It's his area, it's his division.
Well, that being the case, should not the Congress people from Georgia and around the country bring articles of impeachment and removal for Judge Land?